Warning, despite the subject matter at the focus of these videos, my reviews are not intended for viewers under the age of 13, so if you're not of age, turn off the video now. Are they gone? Great, let's get to the intro already. Alright gang, you know the drill by now. We come off a terrible episode, and I usually talk about the dreaded turning point where the season goes bad. However, thinking back on it, Power Rangers rarely trends in quality after a particularly bad episode. Hell, the only times where that does happen is when the season itself loses all sense of direction by drowning in a pool of underdeveloped characters and no ongoing story to speak of. Sure, Beast Morphers did spin its wheels longer than I would like last season, but that hardly makes this series terrible, so I'm going to just brush off the last episode and still have hope that this series will overall be solid. After all, while the last episode failed big time in execution and entertainment, it didn't drag down any long-term plot threads or throw any of the characters under the bus, unless you count the Rangers being kinda dickish for talking down to a teen who only wanted to help them, but I can forgive that since they at least meant well. The fact that last time was pure filler also helps me to ignore it and just move on with this series, so let's see how this season is going to recover from a broken piece as we look at Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode 26, Artist Anonymous. The episode opens with Ravi getting up early in the morning to paint a mural on the side of an abandoned building. He's apparently been working on this idea for a while since he has a sketch for reference, but while cleaning up, Commander Shaw runs into him. She asks her son what he's doing this early in the morning, so Ravi lies and says he's just cleaning up for the artist who he saw run off. To really sell the lie, Ravi questions why anyone would paint a city wall, and his mother says some people have a lot of time to waste before continuing her run. Later, Nate and Steele find Ravi trying to wash paint off his hands, but Ravi again lies and says the paint is from his house that's being remodeled. Devin then calls to tell Ravi to turn on the news, and he sees a broadcast of everyone loving his mural, even though they don't know who painted it. Ben and Betty are among the onlookers, and when Betty gets on her brother's shoulders to get a better angle to take a photo, the two end up rolling away on a skateboard. Betty grabs a light pole and ends up stuck there, while Ben crashes into a hot dog cart for some good old-fashioned food humor. While that's going on, Ravi tries to say that he isn't the artist, but Devin calls his bluff, so the Blue Ranger finally admits that he painted the mural. Devin invites Ravi to come see all the people enjoying his work, but as he heads out, Nate questions why Ravi lied to them.
We already know you like to paint. Why lie to us about it?
I'm sorry, bro. I've been keeping my painting a secret for so long. Telling little lies about it is just a reflex now.
Here's the thing. Whether it's a little lie or a big lie, it's not cool.
Well, I'd say the fact that you are all lying to the public about your identities as Rangers, that statement sounds super hypocritical. Secret or not, it's still a lie. Outside, Blazebot and Roborox create a Robotron out of a padlock that can open any door and order him to break into Grid Battle Force and wreak havoc. Seriously, that's the whole plan. However, when Keytron breaks into the parking garage, he immediately runs into Ravi, who warns the other Rangers of the bot's presence. Ravi morphs into action to take on Keytron, but during the fight, the bot locks the Blue Ranger's blaster to keep it from firing. Luckily, Nate and Steele show up after Ravi gets knocked away, and working together, the three Rangers force Keytron to retreat. Devin and Zoe join the team as they corner Keytron, but the Robotron says no thanks and teleports away. At the fortress, Keytron tries to explain his failure, while Roborox talks about the Blue Rangers secretly painting the mural and ruining their brilliant plan. Evox calls out the plan for being hardly brilliant, so Scrozzle says he's got a better plan and wonders why Ravi is keeping his painting a secret. After learning that Commander Shaw doesn't approve of her son's artistic endeavors, Squirtle plans to disguise Keytron as the mystery artist and use exploding paint to blow a hole into GB headquarters. Still not the best plan, but at least better than what the other generals had. Also, the fake artist Pierre is played by Kelson Henderson because hell, he's been playing one-off characters like this for a long time. Later, Evox puts his evil plan into action by disguising himself as the mayor and telling the Rangers he wants to paint a mural on the side of GB to promote Morph-X. Commander Shaw introduces Pierre as the artist of the beach mural, which Ravi goes along with to not disappoint his mother. As soon as they leave, though, Ravi bitches to the other Rangers about the fake artist, and the others wonder if they should tell Commander Shaw, but Ravi is hesitant.
You don't understand. My mother expects me to follow in her footsteps. She's been putting me in uniform since before I could walk. It means so much to her, and I don't want to let her down.
By lying to her, you're already letting her down.
Didn't you guys also lie to the Beast Bots last year during Christmas? Yet, Nate didn't have a problem with that. Big or small lies, my ass. The other Rangers convince Ravi to finally come clean with his mother, so he stops Pierre right before he can paint with the exploding paint. Ravi admits to his mother that he painted the mural, which confuses her at first, until Ravi shows her the sketch he made as proof. As Commander Shaw yells at her son for lying to her, the villains try to dump paint on them, but Devon warns them just in time to get out of the way. Pierre blows up the ground anyway before revealing himself as Keytron, and the mayor and Commander Shaw head to safety while the Rangers morph into action. However, Keytron locks down the team's transporters so they can't call their weapons, so the Rangers are forced to engage in hand-to-hand combat and whatever objects they can find. Back at the fortress, the mayor returns right before he transforms back into Evox and is pissed that the Rangers ruined another one of his plans. To cheer up his master, Scruzzle offers to send out a Gigadrone that has Keytron and Gamertron's abilities so they can once again drain a section of the city of Morph-X. After getting the green light, we cut back to the Rangers, who finish off the Tronics while Devon holds off Keytron. Luckily, Commander Shaw returns to give Devon the Ultra Blaster that he uses to blow Keytron away. Shaw also tells the Rangers about the Gigadrone that's about to land, so the Rangers head out in the Ultrazord. During the fight, the Gigadrone locks the Rangers so they can't move while being attacked, but Cruz discovers the Zord's jet boots are the only things operational, so the Rangers fly into the air and legit crush the Gigadrone, Defender Torzord style. However, this doesn't destroy the Gigadrone, but it does break its key, allowing the Rangers to unfreeze and eliminate it with their final attack. After the fight, Commander Shaw talks to Ravi about how he lied to her, and Ravi explains that he only did it because he thought she'd never approve, since she's always told him art is a waste of time. Hearing this, Shaw tells her son that her attitude kept Ravi from being true to himself, and promises him that he can tell her anything. Shaw then asks Ravi how painting makes him feel, and he admits that it makes him happy, so she promises to support the Blue Ranger in anything that makes him happy. To prove this point, Shaw takes Ravi to the mural so he can sign his work, and immediately beams with pride, telling the crowd her son is the artist. Bit of a smug move there, but I'll allow it. As the Shaws walk away arm in arm, we see firefighters trying to rescue Betty, who's been holding onto that light pole all fucking day, and the episode ends with Betty bouncing up and down on the rescue pad because it's super fun. This episode was better than the last one? There are certainly more things to like here. For example, Ben and Betty are much funnier thanks to the goofy slapstick. You can always count on food humor getting a good laugh in Power Rangers. And I did enjoy that the show at least attempted to have Ravi and his mother have a serious conversation about his art. However, as with seemingly all things concerning Ravi's plot threads, the execution is not as great as expected. I really hated the heavy-handedness of the honesty moral here, partly because it's something the show already talked about last season and to greater effect. Episode 11 was all about how lying to your friends can make it hard for them to trust you on things that are important later. Sure, I didn't care for the execution there either, but at least it was more complex than this. Here the message is lying is wrong, and that's it. Doesn't help that Nate seems to be the only one that has a problem with Ravi lying and saying things like lies big or small are uncool. I understand the Gold Ranger didn't appreciate Ravi lying to him, but blanket statements like that make it hard for anyone in this show to look good, since they do things like lie to keep the Ranger's identity secret, lie to plan surprise parties, or, I don't know, send their crush flowers as a secret admirer on Valentine's Day? Lies big or small, right? Speaking of Ranger couples, where the hell is Roxy in all this? I can somewhat understand the show keeping her absent last time because she wasn't needed, but here she's kind of a necessity. Ravi'S relationship with Roxy and his feelings about that relationship have been expressed primarily through his artwork prior to this episode. Many sketches of Roxy were found by Joey, and Ravi even painted a portrait of her while she was in a coma. Side note, I really hope they talked about that at least. But here, when Ravi is struggling on whether to tell his mother about his art, his girlfriend is nowhere to be found. Roxy should be the supportive one when it comes to Ravi's art, and I could see her being the one to finally convince him to stop hiding. But no, we're stuck with Nate and his hypocritical view on lying. I could forgive some of these missteps if the conversation Ravi and his mother had contained stronger character depth. However, the script seems to forget that it wasn't just art Commander Shaw disapproved of or thought was a waste of time. It was any form of distraction. That's why it made sense for her to bite Ravi's head off when she saw him cleaning her father's tuba, and why the Rangers aren't allowed to date in the GB handbook. But instead, the show pretends it's only art Commander Shaw has a problem with, so it doesn't look as out of character for her to turn on a dime and start bragging to everyone about her son's talent. Much like the last time these two had a heart-to-heart, I get the feeling the end of this arc was supposed to be more impactful when the idea was originally conceived, and all this lackluster wrap-up accomplishes is making me wonder why I cared so much about this plot thread in the first place. Overall, this is unfortunately another bad episode. There are entertaining moments, like with Ben and Betty and Pierre, but there's just too many cons for me to overlook. The villain plot is lame at best, and while the show does try to give us a satisfactory end to a character arc, it excludes a crucial character in that arc and replaces her with a heavy-handed moral that's not well thought out within the context of this series. So while I liked it more than last time, I can't recommend this episode. I'm Nick, aka IronBet1993, and may the power protect you.